Now, I wasn't alive in 1967 for the Summer of Love, but when it seems like it comes to conference expansion, the Big 12 shares similar views. And with new Commissioner Brett Yormark saying they are definitely open to expanding even more, the question now becomes, is that a good thing or a smart thing? Well, since it seems we're heading down this path anyway, I think they're going to end up with 4 super conferences, then my answer is yes. The Big 12's already adding BYU, Houston, Cincinnati, and Central Florida. And like the old saying goes, you need to get in while the getting's good. Now, there are only so many legitimate ads out there, and we know the big dogs like the SEC and the Big Ten are definitely going to get theirs. So in order to not only survive, but thrive, the Big 12 cannot be afraid to make more moves. Now, our good friend Tim Brando said yesterday he expects Utah, Colorado, and the Arizona schools to jump ship after USC and UCLA decided to go all Lewis and Clark across the country to the Big Ten. Now, having the holy war in your conference, that's elite. Having the PR lightning rod that is Deion Sanders is elite as well. But it wasn't that long ago that most people had left the Big 12 for dead. And nothing makes you more aggressive or open than seeing your life flash before your eyes as a conference. Now, regardless of whether you like conference expansion or contraction, as some have called it, smart business is smart business. And at least to this point, Yormark hasn't missed their mark at all. I'm going to go and bring in my co-host, David Cone. Well, I almost struggled on the landing there. Former Michigan quarterback, and Blaine Crain, former Western State Colorado wide receiver, and a pretty good cooker of corn dogs, better than what you thought.
Really?
Anything that involves a glizzy, I'm pretty phenomenal at.
Yeah, Blaine he's the Leonardo da Vinci of glizzy making.
I need to come over more.
You need to. Not as good as
I have an open door policy,
friends, but he does.
Just open it.
Just open it.
Circus
You're there.
At the fair. They made the corn dogs. Is that where you got that?
He was the bearded
Yeah.
lady.
Mm-hmm. Still am.
Yeah.
Didn't see that one coming.
Well, you know what they say? It's crazy in now society. It's like, what are all the freaks gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Like the guys at the circus gonna be like, guys,
It can't be any different.
It's just normal now. You're normal.
I have a job.
Yeah. But David, boy, that took a turn. When it comes to expansion, if you're the
I hate to see it.
yeah. And again, but see, like my question's not, are you for conference expansion? It is, if you're the Big 12, you almost have to be more aggressive because once the SEC and the Big Ten throws that bait in the water, everybody's going to come calling.
I agree with you 100%. What are you going to do? Just sit back? Now, I mean, you're going to lose your 2 biggest brands in Oklahoma and Texas. And a couple surprising things here as it relates to the Big 12 and the Pac-12 is the news of Texas and Oklahoma leaving the Big 12 struck first, right? And we all thought, man, that's going to be the death of the Big 12. Think about it. We're only a decade removed from Nebraska and Texas A&M both leaving too. That's 4 of the biggest brands in the conference. And then all of a sudden we get USC and UCLA are going to leave the Pac-12. And now it looks like the Pac-12's in a lot more trouble. The Big 12 immediately goes and picks up, I think, 4 great contenders.
Yeah,
I think
good
Central
markets
Florida and Houston. That's another thing is it's picking up the big markets, which I think is a reason that's been part of the Big Ten strategy. When you look at Rutgers being in the Big Ten now and Maryland, they're trying to pick up those markets, right? So that much makes sense. So now if you're the Big 12 and you're already going to lose Texas and Oklahoma, but you've added these 4 new teams, which we're going to get to see this fall, now you can't sit back and just wait. Deion Sanders isn't going to coach at Colorado for long. We know that. But if you can get Colorado, especially while Deion Sanders has a lot of momentum there from a PR standpoint, and you can add Arizona to an already premier basketball conference for sure, that's a big get. The other side of this for the Pac-12 that's interesting is, one, we're on the precipice of what I think could be an outstanding season for the Pac-12.
Best one they've had.
They are going to be elite at, first of all, they're going to have some of the best quarterbacks in the country. I think they're going to play some of the best football in the country, which leads me to Oregon and Washington. What happens there? Do Oregon and Washington almost control the fate now of the Pac-12? Because if Tim Brando was right yesterday and Oregon and Washington are going to jump ship to the Big Ten, what's going to be left of that conference? Who could they possibly add? And will it just be inevitable to be 4 Power 4 conferences?
Yeah, Blaine, I think it's inevitable we get to 4 Power 4. If Utah leaves, it almost, in my opinion, forces Oregon and Washington to have to leave. Because again, I mean, who's left out there for the Pac-12 to go? And I'm not talking about grabbing Gonzaga for basketball. I'm talking from a football standpoint. Who's left? Look, San Diego State, great institution. It's in a great spot, not a bad market, but you're not replacing USC and UCLA. There's no Fresno State, love them. I feel like we are watching, and the greatest irony of all David brought up is that this is probably the best year. The Pac-12 there's a very good chance to be the second best conference in college football this year, in my opinion. Some people could argue maybe first. I don't agree with that. But Blaine, if you're Utah, all right, and you're looking at the fit in the Big 12 with them adding BYU, to me it's a no-brainer.
I mean, yeah, if you're Utah, why not? And when it comes down to Oregon and Washington, you're going to get stuck in a situation where you find yourself in the club at 2 a.m, there's a bunch of 6s around, and you have to pick one.
Yeah.
You know, that's never a fun situation to be on. But if I'm Utah, there's a couple things. I mean, one, I feel like you fit well in the Pac-12 just because of the way you play football. There's not a lot of teams like Utah, the way they play football is a downhill running team, and we're going to plly really good on defense, right? That's what Utah does. That's why I have so much success in the Pac-12. You can go to the Big 12 and have this. You're going to be one of the top-tier teams in it, I think. But I think it's going to be a little bit different, especially from competition-wise when it comes to the defensive side, because there's a lot of difference in Pac-12. We're going to score a lot of points and not play a lot of defense, especially with USC and Oregon. But if you're Utah, I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm gone.
I'm gone. The first chance I get to go, I'm gone. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Utah go pretty soon.
It's time to take your style to the next level. Dressing for success can help you look better and be more confident. So whether you're attending an important meeting or a networking event, or simply want to impress your colleagues, our friends at Indochino have everything that you need. All right, from business casual, dress shirts, camp shirts, and even blazers. Look at this picture right there. You want to look fly? All right, Indochino offers a wide variety of options for every occasion. And it's not just shirts, Blaine. Indochino has high-end suits at very affordable prices. Now you can look great at every event. David, you ordered a suit. Tell the people about it.
I did order a suit. I got the gray one, kind of silverish, even though I guess that would beg the question, what's the difference between gray and silver? But has a nice little sheen to it. It got here last week, and it comes in a nice box. Opened it up, perfect fit. It's made to measure.
And it's the same color as your spaceship that the whistleblower just went out and talked about. How was the ordering process for you?
So I got online, put in all my measurements. I already had my measurements, so I didn't need them to measure me.
That's how you got for my wedding.
Yes, exactly, because I already needed to get my tux for your wedding. So I already had that, but they did offer to do an in-appointment measurement, and then it took 2 weeks to get here.
Yeah, really?
Got here last
week?
week.
You can't get anything in 2 weeks nowadays. Look, Indochino's the move. So they just launched their new spring collection of suits. They have a ton of new styles, colors, and patterns. Ladies, you want to get something for your husband? You know his measurements. We know you order everything for him anyway. I know mine does. Indochino, while you're browsing their site, let us know what spring collection suit you would wear for your game day photo. Got to look good for the game, too. I know I prefer window pane yellow. Deep down. I know it sounds crazy, but guess what? Grow up. You can see the yellow suit right there. Take your style to the next level with Indochino. So I need you to listen to this deal, all right? Go to Indochino, that's INDOCHINO.com, and use our code BOOSTER to get 10% off any purchase $399 or more. You say, Jake, $399 or more. That's cheap for this, for a suit, something you can wear your whole life. All right, so go to Indochino.com, INDOCHINO.com. Use that promo code BOOSTER and get 10% off, and send us a picture, you know?
Get you a suit. Start looking fresh.
You look. Start looking
fresh. Send it in.
You'll make better decisions in life in general. So we got better
fashion board. You make the French fashionista board back here.
That's exactly right. We were going to talk about this yesterday. We ran out of time. Having different schools or having in conferences, the same schools but different sports, right? So, for example, if you had Gonzaga was just a basketball only ad and didn't have football, I have no problem with that as long as you're not in the same division or not even talking about FCS or Group of Five, Power Five, whatever. But I'm fine if basketball is Division I and football, there is no football. You're like Villanova, where basketball is Division I and football is in a lower division. Where I have a problem with that is when you start having different sports in the same division in different conferences. I don't like that. To me, it muddies the waters too much. That's something we're going to get into probably a little bit later. YouTube! Hey, hopefully I didn't scare you, or maybe I did. Subscribe, and if you don't know, we do a live weekly sports show from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern. That's 6:30 to 8 a.m. Central. Come check us out. We do live calls Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We have a live chat that is very, very active, and we answer your questions and your comments. So If you want sports back in your life again because you're tired of the woke BS, come join us at Crain & Company, where we talk sports.